The Ansonia Chargers with a home game tonight against NBL rival Derby Ansonia, showing why they are once again the team to beat in the NBL. Offense on display early on. Sheldon Schuler with the pass to Jaden Blackwell, and look at that speed from Jaden Blackwell. A couple nice moves all the way for the touchdown, and the Chargers with the early lead, but they aren't even close to being done. Schuler, he just continues to light it up through the air to Noah Wagenblast. Another Ansonia touchdown. Chargers starting to pull away a little bit. And then finally, it's Shaquem Harmon. This Ansonia team with so many weapons. He gets to the outside, then turns on the Jets to get into the end zone for another Ansonia Chargers touchdown. And Ansonia dominant at home. They beat Derby 42-6, and they remain unbeaten on the season.
Blue Devils will take over on down.
Our FNF Cheerleaders of the Week come from Plainville High School. Their highlights are coming up in a little bit. To nominate your school, just download our Channel 3 Sports app.
Hey, look at this. Our intern, David Horowitz, tossing Channel 3 footballs into the crowd in Naugatuck tonight. Everybody wants one. The Greyhounds hosting NBL rival Kennedy. It's all Naughty. Here we go. Nice hook up from Naugatuck quarterback Jay Messo puts it up. That's Jeff Schriebel, and he's in for the big gain. And then it's Naugatuck on the move here. Led to this. Aaron Smith, the handoff. You're not going to stop him right up the middle. It's a Greyhounds touchdown. Naugatuck starting to pull away. More in the air from Naugatuck. A nice play action fake. Mezzo drops back, puts it up. Isaiah Williams got the cuts and the touchdown. Huge play right there. The Greyhounds shut out Kennedy at home. 38-0 the final. Naugatuck moves to 5-0.
All right, here are those Plainville highlights we're talking about. Plainville hosting Berlin. Early action in this one. Berlin trying to add to an early lead. It's Justin Skates with the screen pass to the tight end, Dan Lynch. And he gets a nice game before being knocked out of bounds. Now, later in the game, controversial play here. Berlin looking to score. Jamie Palmese hauling in the pass for the long touchdown. But upon further review, officials said it was an illegal forward pass. The touchdown comes off the board. However, in the end, it would be Berlin getting the win in a tight game on the road. 20-13 over Plainville. Berlin now 5-1. Plainville 4-2.
Athlete of the Week is sponsored by UConn Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Our Athlete of the Week winner is out tonight, and the reward goes to North Haven running back Jaden Watson. He ran for 105 yards, 5 touchdowns in his team's win last week. He gets a Property of Friday Night Football t-shirt and a caricature of himself drawn by local artist Bob Dornfree. All right, now moving on, the UConn football team has a real good chance to get its second win of the season tomorrow. Headed up to Amherst to play UMass. The Minutemen are 1-6. UConn has just one win, too. Kickoff for that, 3:30. We'll have highlights on Eyewitness News at 11.
And that does it for this week's 7 edition of Friday Night Football. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you missed any of the show, download our Channel 3 Sports app to see highlights from all season long.
We also invite you to take a listen to my new podcast, The Joe Zone, available wherever you get your podcasts. I want to thank our producer, Mark Pizzukowski, our director, Jason Bowman, our intern, David Horowitz, and the rest of the crew. And a shout out to the Shelton coaches watching our show tonight at JC's. For Elliot Polikoff and Mark Robbins, I'm Joe Zone. I'll see you out there. It does. Yep, that's what I got.
Now, Eyewitness Sports with Joe Zone.
Good morning. We've got the highlights from last night's Friday night football show. We had 12 games in that one. We're going to tighten it up a little bit. And, of course, wherever we don't show you right now, you can go to our website, WFSB.com, click on sports, and you'll see the highlights of the rest of last night's games. Let's start with our big 3-on-3 game of the week. It's an SEC showdown, Shelton and Xavier. Now, both teams came into the game after a bye. Xavier on a 2-game winning streak, Shelton on a 2-game losing streak, and it did not take long for Shelton to get it going. First play from scrimmage, the quarterback Jim Curley to Gavin Roman, and watch him go all the way to the Xavier 4-yard line. Next play, Giorgio Cazal. It's a Shelton touchdown, the extra point good at 7-0. 2 drives later, Shelton's on the move again, and Curley's at it again, this time to Jake Uter. That's how you run the screenplay. He's going to take this one all the way down to the 3. Shelton puts Tyler Patak in the game, and he finishes the drive. Shelton leads 14-0 on the road at Xavier. The Falcons respond on their next series. Bruce Sweetapple, far side of the field, down that sideline.
Athlete of the Week is sponsored by UConn Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Athlete of the Week is sponsored.
The 41 is second and short, and it's going to be Scott for the first down. Here's the tackle. It's to the outside. Scott, one man to beat, and he'll be you win the toss. You defer. You're saying, I'm putting my defense out there, and UConn just choose you.
Hey, 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 hey. Pastry chef, cannoli. Chef Cannoli at your service.
Inside the haunted house. Now, the cause of the controversy is these two statues.
Check, Roger.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, ROG. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Right now from Channel 3, this is Eyewitness News.
First at 11 o'clock on this Friday night, we begin with a check of the weekend forecast. A cloudy end to the work week, but still a pretty nice day out there. Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight at 11 o'clock. I'm Erin Connolly. If you do have outdoor plans this weekend, you're going to want to squeeze them in tomorrow. That's for sure. Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePriest joining us now with a look at the timing. And Bruce, Sunday not looking so hot right now.
No, especially in the afternoon and evening. So tomorrow, easily the better of the 2 weekend days. We've enjoyed nice weather for the last 3 days, including today. And right now it's generally okay. We do have a couple of showers in the Northwest Hills. I'll show you that in a moment, but we're all right. Litchfield is coming in at 49, Waterbury 54 at the Our Lady of Mount Carmel School in Hartford, at the Connecticut Science Center we're 55, and at the Cold Spring School in New Haven it's a little bit milder there with a temperature of 59 degrees. So early warning pinpoint Doppler shows most of the state is dry. Got a couple of light rain showers in the northwestern hills right now. It looks like most of the rain is going to be passing by to the north of us tonight, but we'll get clipped by a few light rain showers, especially in the northern half of the state. Now, looking beyond tonight and into later in the weekend, this is what we're going to be dealing with. Look at all this rain from Kentucky all the way into the Gulf of Mexico, where we find Tropical Storm Olga, which is going to be making landfall pretty soon. And all that moisture is heading to the northeast. Now, we don't expect a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but we do anticipate a lot of rain. So mostly cloudy skies tonight with a chance for a shower. The clouds clear away by morning, and tomorrow mostly sunny with increasing clouds in the late afternoon and evening, and then some showers and drizzle break out tomorrow night into Sunday morning. So Sunday morning, I think there'll be some light precipitation in the state, but the bulk of it comes in. Look at that. Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening when it's going to downpour and maybe even a few rumbles of thunder. We'll talk about how much rain we expect and when this will all go away. It's coming up in the early warning forecast.
All right, sounds good, Bruce. We'll see you in a few. Meanwhile, health officials have confirmed a fourth case of the measles in Connecticut this year. According to the Department of Health, the latest victim is a child who lives in Fairfield County. The 3 other cases were all adults who lived in New Haven County. Health experts are now looking at other places the child might have been because measles is so contagious.
You might have a first or second grader who's fully vaccinated, but you might have a toddler or an infant at home who's not vaccinated and might be exposed. I mean, parents are going to take their younger children to events and pickups and play dates with their older children where they have potential for exposure.
Now, if you think you may have symptoms of the measles, you are urged to see your doctor as soon as possible. To Hamden now, where police are investigating the death of a 29-year-old woman. Investigators tell us she was found in the bathroom of a home on High Top Circle last night with serious injuries. A cause of death is still under investigation. The victim has not yet been identified. To Hartford now, where we're learning more about the 71-year-old grandmother who was killed in the aftermath of a drive-by shooting yesterday afternoon. Police say Yvonne Smith died after she was hit by a car driven by a suspect in that shooting. People in two cars exchanged gunfire on Westland Street. One car, in an attempt to get away, started reversing and struck Smith, who was running for safety. Community members say they hope the death of the neighborhood's beloved grandmother will be the wake-up call for the violence to stop.
Maybe it will be, because this is devastating. It really is devastating. Mrs. Smith's death is devastating.
Police tell us 2 teens are in custody in connection to Smith's death, but they are still looking for other suspects. Meanwhile, an anti-violence rally will be held near Smith's home on Garden and Nelson Streets. That'll take place at 4 p.m. tomorrow. To Fairfield County now, where a synagogue has been given the all clear after being evacuated following 2 bomb threats. Police were called to the congregation B'nai Israel on Park Avenue at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Bomb-sniffing dogs joined officers in searching the building but found nothing suspicious. Police say the call came from a man in Florida. As a precaution, officers will remain on site for upcoming services. Now, all new tonight at 11 o'clock, haunted houses are raking in the cash on this beautiful fall night. But one Connecticut business feared a controversy could scare away customers. Channel 3's Roger Susannon joins us now live in Waterbury to explain why the problem was actually outside the doors of the haunted house. Roger.
Well, Aaron, the Nightmare on Wolcott Street is still open right now, but the cause of all this controversy, again, as you mentioned, has nothing to do with anything going on inside this haunted house. No, instead, it all stems from these 2 statues, which right now are covered in plastic at the request of the mayor's office. The Nightmare on Wolcott Street has been serving up scary good times in Waterbury for the last 7 years.
It's awesome. Every year, it's awesome.
The funnest part about it is the spinning part, like when you go on the bridge and it starts spinning.
Co-owners Renee Dearborn and Mike Anderson are the creators of the chaos.
Love scaring kids and people. That's the best part of it.
But a recent controversy threatened to scare away business. This photo that appeared in the Waterbury Republican American shows 2 statues of the Virgin Mary that sit on Anderson's property. Some critics feel the statues being so close to a haunted house is disrespectful.
Then I read the paper and I was like, are you kidding me? It was just crazy. It was like, this got blown way out of proportion.
But Anderson and Dearborn didn't want to offend any of their neighbors. So at the suggestion of the mayor's office, they wrapped the statues in opaque plastic. They'll stay this way until the business owners eventually use the statues, which have no role in the haunted house, in a nativity scene.
I couldn't believe that someone would think that because we are Catholic, that they would even present that we would do anything, like this with, our Blessed Mother, that it was unbelievable.
Dearborn and Anderson have apologized for upsetting anyone, but most people seem satisfied with the new solution. And in the end, the controversy didn't hurt business. In fact, sales have gone up since the photo was published.
They apologize for anybody who they might have offended, and, that's enough for me.
And by the way, you might have noticed that Renee Dearborn was in full costume. Well, that's because she is working tonight. And by the way, Anderson points out that even though his haunted house is located very close to the statues themselves are actually located on the property of another business which his family also owns. Reporting live tonight in Waterbury, I'm Roger Susannon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Roger, thank you very much. Still ahead tonight at 11.
Everyone evacuate, the flood's coming up!
Thousands ordered to evacuate as the devastating wildfires across California continue to grow. What officials now say may have sparked the flames. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News with Mark Zinni and early warning weather with Bruce DePriest, Connecticut's #1 local news. Eyewitness News at 11.
We're back now with developing news from out west, where major parts of California are under a state of emergency as fast-moving wildfires continue to grow, threatening thousands of homes. The fire broke out Thursday just north of L.A. and has already scorched thousands of acres.
We just saw this red glow behind the hillside. We saw flames just started marching down the hillside just a few hundred feet from my house.
Further north, the Kincaid fire continues to ravage the area around Sonoma wine country. The state's largest utility, Pacific Gas and Electric, is investigating whether that fire was sparked by a transmission tower that had not been de-energized.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePriest.
Well, if you have outdoor plans for this weekend, tomorrow is the day you want to get them done because Sunday's going to turn out to be a washout. Fall foliage, it's peaking right now here in Connecticut across northern New England. We are actually beyond peak. So if you want to do some leaf peeping over the weekend, tomorrow is the day to get it done. All right, over Hartford, we've had mostly cloudy skies tonight, but there's no rain so far. Certainly looking nice and quiet there. And there's our ICAM in New London, where a little bit of a breeze off the water is holding temperatures up a little bit. Nearby Groton, for example, is 60. New Haven is 62. Bridgeport is 61. But over interior portions of the state, temperatures are generally in the range of 50 to 55. Most of Connecticut is dry. We do have a couple of light rain showers in northwestern Connecticut. We're getting brushed by this area of light rain. Most of it will be passing by to the north of Connecticut. So we have a lot of rain across the Tennessee Valley into the Gulf of Mexico. This is post-tropical cyclone Olga, which is about ready to make landfall over Louisiana, bringing heavy rain and severe weather there. No tropical weather for us, but this is going to enhance the rainfall that is heading our way for later in the weekend. We're talking about a lot of it over a short period of time. So Futurecast shows some clouds, maybe a shower clearing away toward morning, and then tomorrow is shaping up to be a mostly sunny day with increasing cloudiness in the late afternoon and evening. These are the leading edge of the clouds that's heading of the storm that's heading our way for later in the weekend. Some showers develop tomorrow night, and for Saturday morning, or Sunday morning I should say, some showers and drizzle, but the main batch of rain comes through in the afternoon and evening when the rain's going to come down very hard at times, maybe some lightning and thunder, and then it all ends by around midnight as we go into a Sunday night. So as far as rainfall totals go, and Futurecast has been fairly consistent with this. Don't pay attention to the exact location or the precise amount, but we're talking about 1 to 3 inches of rain and maybe even locally higher amounts. So lows tonight in the upper 30s and 40s, and your highs for tomorrow in the upper 50s and low 60s. So a seasonably cool day. Here's your 7-day forecast. Sunday turning out to be a washout with the heavy rain in the afternoon and evening, 54. Monday mostly cloudy and 63. Clouds and a couple of showers Tuesday and Wednesday, but a lot of dry weather too. And then it looks like we're going to have to deal with some rain at some point Thursday and Friday. So right now expect at least some showers on Halloween, and 58 for the shoreline this weekend, 60 Saturday, and a high of 59 with the rain on Sunday.
Alrighty, Bruce, thank you very much, and thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Have a great night, a great weekend. Friday Night Football coming up next.
Three test, 1, 2.
Hello, 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 hello.
Your town, your team, your school. Eyewitness News presents Friday Night Football, sponsored by New Balance, Avon, and South Windsor. When your feet feel good, your whole body feels good.
From our broadcast house in Rocky Hill, welcome in. It's week 7 of Friday Night Football right here on Channel 3. I'm glad you're with us tonight. I'm Joe Zone.
And I'm Elliot Polikoff. We have reached the halfway point of the season. Can you believe it, Joe? Yep. It is crazy, and teams are starting to make that push to the postseason. We're going to begin our coverage tonight with the game you wanted for the big 3-on-3 game of the week.
It was a late surge in our online poll by Xavier fans. It sent us to Palmer Field in Middletown this week for our game of the week. Showdown, Shelton and Xavier, our big 3-on-3 game of the week. Both teams come into this game after a bye. Xavier on a 2-game winning streak, Shelton on a 2-game losing streak, and it didn't take Shelton long to get it going. First play from scrimmage, the quarterback, Jim Curley, to Gavin Roman, and watch him go all the way to the Xavier 4-yard line. Next play, Giorgio Guzal. That's a Shelton touchdown, extra point good, and it's 7-0. 2 drives later, Shelton on the move again. This time it's Curley to Jake Udu. This is how you run this screenplay. He takes it down to the 3-yard line. Shelton follows it with Tyler Patak. He's in, finishes the drive. It's 14-0 on the road at Xavier. The Falcons respond on their next series. Bruce Sweetapple, far side, found that sideline. He could go all the way, but he's out at the 1-yard line. And then it's the quarterback, Drew Cron, who sets up, fires over the middle, Marcellus Ruiz. It's a Xavier touchdown to make it 14-7. Shelton goes on to win it 28-21. Both teams are 3-3. 2 other games made up our big 3-on-3 game of the week poll this week.
And for a check on those, plus other action from around the state, here's Mark Robbins.
Here in Stafford, it's been more than a month. How about 35 days since they had the lights on for Friday Night Football, and the Bulldogs were trying to make the most of it as the Knights of Ellington came calling. After the howdy-ya-doos and pleased to meet yous, it was Stafford scoring first in the first. The play that sets things up, this toss from Tyler Ouellette to Brandon Gardner. A couple of plays later, it's Ouellette busting over from the 2, and the Bulldogs had a 7-0 lead. And the Stafford East Windsor Summers Co-op used its combined power on defense to shut down that Ellington Knights offense. And the Stafford Bulldogs, with the smoke rising toward Halloween, improved to 4-1 with a 35-3 win. On top of Eagle Hill, the Tolland student body was excited for Game 3 of our Big 3. The Eagles hosting the Bloomfield Warhawks, and what a first half for Anthony Simpson of Bloomfield. Check out this run. The second of his 3 scores in the first half. It's a 14-0 Bloomfield advantage. Defensively, the Warhawks were swarming all night. Check out the athleticism of William Moore. A huge interception. And this nice return takes it inside the Tolland 10. That sets up Simpson, touchdown number 3. The Eagles were trying to pull out all the stops against the Warhawks, but Denzel Patrick and his buddies were not fooled. Another long interception return, and that puts Bloomfield in business again. And the CEO of the offense, junior quarterback Darren Bryden. Look at him firing to Javon Massey for a score. Bloomfield rolls over Tolland 42-zip. The Hall Warriors traveled to South Windsor looking for their 4th win of the season, while the Bobcats of South Windsor had hopes of evening their record at 3-3. Those hopes were destroyed early as Isaiah Lazardi came up with a big interception on the second play of the game, and he took it back for a quick 6. The Hall defense scored moments later. Harrison Margolis recovering a loose ball in the end zone. 14-0, and Hall's offense hadn't even taken the field. And when it did, Izari took off 67 yards down the far sideline. Izari would score again in the second quarter. It was a stroll down victory lane for Hall. 41-7 the final. I'm Mark Robbins, Channel 3 Eyewitness Sports.
Thanks, Mark. Wilby and Torrington. These Torrington fans wanted to be on television. Well, guess what, guys? You're on television. Mid-third quarter, Wilby down 14-0. Trying to get a little something going, but that Wildcats pass is intercepted by Sean Klingscales. He takes it all the way back for the pick six. What an effort to get into the end zone. 20-0 Raiders. But Wilby responds. 4th and goal. Down 20. I don't think I've ever seen a touchdown scored like this. The fumble goes right into David LeBoy's hands, 20-6, and we'll be making a little bit of a comeback. Then after Torrington fumbles the kickoff, we'll be on offense, and Aaron James to Raekwon James. Can't do it much better than that, 20-12. Torrington chipping away, or will be chipping away at that lead, but the Raiders eventually pull away in this one. And look at Jacob Coleman just dragging defenders into the end zone, refusing to go down, getting a little help from his lineman in the process. Torrington with a big win at home, 34-12, the final score.
To Willowbrook Park in New Britain. New Britain head coach Bucky Jones trying to inspire his kids down 13-6 to Glastonbury at the half. And here's something. Omari Payne makes the Golden Hurricanes go. A big gainer in their first drive of the second half. Here comes the finish. If I could just finish and find the ball carrier. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. Tariq Hetmeyer, and that's a 38-yard touchdown, 13-12 Glastonbury. The 2-point try is good, so New Britain leads 14-13. That's the start of a big second half for the Golden Hurricanes. New Britain 36-20. Our FNF band of the week comes from Naugatuck High School. Their highlights are coming up later in the show. To nominate your school, download our Channel 3 Sports app.
All right, Newington's band also impressive this evening. The Indians at home against undefeated Maloney. Spartans up 7 at the half, but here comes Newington. Nick Pestrochello connecting with Gunnar Johnson for the 11-yard score. Game tied at 21. But Maloney is undefeated for a reason. James Tarver, he's doing his part. Look at this tough running. Just bouncing off Newington defenders. That led to a Spartans touchdown. But then the momentum started to shift to Newington. Pestrochello looking deep. Austin Howe, nice. 93 yards to Pater, 28-28. Then after Maloney fumbled on the kickoff, Newington gets the ball back. Pestrochello punches it in, and the Indians are up 35-28. And Pestrochello, he had an unbelievable evening. He came up with big play after big play, and this was the backbreaker. Under 3 minutes to go in the fourth, 65 yards to the house. Newington handed Maloney their first loss of the year, beating the Spartans 42-35. And a nice turnout over in Granby by the Granby student section. The Bears hosting Windsor Locks. 7-7 game in the second quarter. Dylan Disabella getting the handoff, and he knows what to do with it. Getting to the outside, marching Granby into Windsor Locks territory. But give credit to Windsor Locks. When the Raiders needed to buckle down, they did just that. Stopping Granby on 4th and goal. Still a 7-7 game. And neither team's offense really got into a rhythm in this one, hence the 7-7 game. Windsor Locks, again, just too much to handle on defense, and they get the sack right here. 7-7 was the score at the half. Granby finally breaking through in the third quarter. Samuel Ataniese taking the handoff and winding and weaving his way into the end zone. But Windsor Locks gets the last laugh as the Raiders get the 27-20 road win.
Still more highlights to come tonight. We've got stops in Bristol and Plainville and Ansonia, also in Naugatuck and more. Stay with us. FNF returns right after this.
You're watching Friday Night Football!
You're watching Friday Night Football, sponsored by New Balance, Avon and South Windsor. When your feet feel good, your whole body feels good.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football here on Channel 3. I'm Elliot Polikoff.
And I'm Joe Zone. One team that's been getting some attention this season, Wethersfield. The Eagles 4-1, and with that one loss, it came to the top-ranked team in the state, Daniel Ham. So they're on the road tonight, taking on Bristol Eastern. Looking dominant on the road in this one, already up big, and they add to the lead. The Lancers have the ball, but it's a fumble. Wethersfield recovers. And that sets up this. The quarterback, Matt Silver, does it himself up the middle. Couple of nice moves. He's in for the touchdown, and Wethersfield increases the lead on the road. More now from Wethersfield, the offense in charge. Silver, the quick dump off pass to Johnny Orsini, and he's got a nice gain before finally being dragged down. We're on the same drive now. Silver again, this time hits the receiver for another good Eagles gain, and that led to this. Another trip to the end zone. It's Orsini. This time on the handoff, right up the middle, in for the touchdown. Wethersfield with a big win on the road. They beat the Lancers 47-0. They are 5-1 on this season.
The Ansonia Chargers with a home game tonight against NBL rival Derby. Ansonia showing why they are once again the team to beat in the NBL. Offense on display early on. Sheldon Schuler with the pass to Jaden Blackwell, and look at that speed from Jaden Blackwell. A couple nice moves all the way for the touchdown, and the Chargers with the early lead, but they aren't even close to being done. Schuler, he just continues to light it up through the air to Noah Wagenblast. Another Ansonia touchdown. Chargers starting to pull away a little bit. And then finally, it's Shaquem Harmon. This Ansonia team with so many weapons. He gets to the outside, then turns on the Jets to get into the end zone for another Ansonia Chargers touchdown. And Ansonia dominant at home. They beat Derby 42-6, and they remain unbeaten on the season.